Okay, so Tabitha, I have come upon this. This is, let's all keep this in mind, the source, because this is important. It's a source that I've never heard of, but it's called World Socialist Website. So apparently they're Trotskyite, I'm not sure, but I think that says a little bit about their credibility. However, nonetheless, the headline is, FBI conducted surveillance of BAMN in the name of combating, quote, domestic terrorism, unquote, by Bob Carter, February 5th, 2019. On January 16th, the nonprofit government transparency organization Property of the People published 52 pages of heavily redacted documents related to an investigation opened by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, against the By Any Means Necessary BAMN group in 2016. Okay, now notice, by the way, they seem to realize this was in 2016, right? The FBI investigation of BAMN was filed under the caption, quote, DT, anarchist extremism, unquote. The acronym DT stands for domestic terrorism. The documents, which could be viewed here, and we'll check that out in a minute here, established that the FBI targeted BAMN following a June 2016, I'll say that again, June 2016 provocation by neo-Nazis and the KKK in Sacramento, California. And of course, this is the subject of our video, Regressive Left Terrorism versus Civil Rights. And also, this is the incident where Flarka, punched that guy, and that's why she's currently still in this ongoing court battle.
Yeah.
Okay. Emboldened by the rhetoric of the Trump administration, including its demand to build a wall on the southern border, a rabble of various white supremacist groups organized a march on the state capitol. Okay, folks, if you don't remember, this was before Trump.
Oh my God. See, this is why you don't lie, people. This is why you don't lie, because you get caught in your lie, because you forget the timeline of your lies.
Just...
This is what happens. You look like a fucking idiot. This is what happens. Don't do it. Be better than your ignorance.
Holy shit. Oh my goodness.
They're lying. They forget when it was. They don't keep track of dates. So they're just making shit up to try and defend.
And by the way, is this a case of propter hoc ergo post hoc? You know the saying post hoc ergo propter hoc, which means after this, because of what happened before this. In other words, X happened and then Y happened, so Y must have been caused by X. But it seems like what they are doing is making another fallacy, an argument of propter hoc ergo post hoc. In other words, what happened after caused what happened before. Okay? As in, time-traveling science fiction. Somebody goes back in time and they change the past, therefore they change the future. These people are fucking nuttier than fruitcakes. They did this thing because of something that happened after it.
Yeah. That's amazing. Which one of y'all is psychic?
Holy shit. The main point of this video was going to be that, at least according to this group, the FBI is looking into BAMN, which is great because so many people have been like, why the hell is the government ignoring these people? And at least according to this source, may or may not be true, at least according to this source, the government's looking into them. But now, it seems the bigger story is the monumental either stupidity or the monumental insult to the intelligence of their target audience. Which is it? I don't know, but either way, this is...
all of the above.
Back it up a little bit. Emboldened by the rhetoric of the Trump administration before the Trump administration existed, including its demand to build a wall on the southern border, a rabble of various white supremacist groups organized a march on the state capitol.
That hadn't happened?
Yeah, a group calling itself the Traditionalist Workers' Party. By the way, they no longer exist because apparently Matt Parrott and Matthew Heimbach... Well, apparently Matthew Heimbach screwed Matt Parrott's wife, even though Matthew Heimbach is married to Matt Parrott's daughter.
Ew.
Okay? Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, when you marry in and you fuck the wife of the guy that you married the daughter of, that's like... You fucked your mom, dude. That's not cool.
Yeah, well, you did your mom-in-law. Now the from the reports that I read, the Matt Parrott's current wife, or ex-wife now, I guess, the one that Matt Heimbach fucked, apparently is not the genetic mother of Matthew Heimbach's wife. Matt Parrott's
thank
daughter.
You for small miracles,
but still.
Wow.
That's
Y'all are funky as fuck. That's not cool.
That's what is it?
That's creepy.
What's not the Maury Povich show, but the other
Jerry ass shit right
Thank you, Jerry Springer. That's some Jerry Springer stuff. He's trying to be his own
grandpa or some crap. I don't
know.
Like, dude, no.
And I wish I saved the reports in this, but at least according to the report I read, what happened is that Matt Parrott stood on a box or an object to look into the trailer window to catch them doing it, and then when Matt Heimbach opened the door, he knocked Matt Parrott off of whatever he was standing on to look into the window, and the two of them fought. I don't really know, but anyway, that's some funny shit.
Twisted ass shit right there. You're all
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's okay. So I was telling somebody in the comment section earlier today, these two different opposing groups have a lot more in common with each other than any of them have with, say, Proud Boys, for example, because when you go far enough into the left-wing collectivist authoritarian direction or the far enough in the right-wing collectivist authoritarian direction, you come to the same fucking place.
Yeah.
Just like if you go left-wing libertarian or right-wing libertarian enough, you come to the same goddamn place. And
y'all meet in the backyard looking stupid, so...
Right, and you got, say, for example, people like the Proud Boys who are, I'm not going to say they're extreme libertarian. It's not, because if you're extreme libertarian enough, you're an anarchist. I don't think they're anarchists, but I don't think they're extreme libertarian, but they are very much the opposite of both the right-wing collectivist authoritarians and left-wing collectivist authoritarians. And it's funny, because, look, Stalin and Hitler had a lot more in common with each other than either of them had with America, okay? They're kind of on the same side of things from the perspective of America.
The only reason they weren't friends is because they were competing factions for the same goal.
Right.
Which was supreme power.
Yes, there were competitions. They wanted the same thing, but they wanted it for themselves, yes.
Yeah, like if they weren't competing with each other, they would have been buddies.
Right, and a lot of people like to fight with me in the comments section, or they try to fight with me in the comments section of certain videos. They're like, Nazis weren't right-wing, they have the word socialist in their title. It's like, okay, well... So Antifa has the word anti-fascist in their title. Does that mean they're actually anti-fascist? No. Now, I'm not saying the Nazis weren't National Socialists. I'm just saying I don't fucking care, really, if they're left-wing or right-wing. I don't fucking give a shit. That's just... Look, the difference between right and left is relatively unimportant to the difference between collectivist on one hand and individualist on the other hand. Or authoritarian on one hand and libertarian on the other hand. Anyway... Getting far away from things, but let's get back into this. A group calling itself the Traditionalist Workers' Party was joined by the Golden State Skinheads, Blood and Honor, and Traditionalist Youth Network. Now, okay, Traditionalist Youth Network is the Traditionalist Workers' Party. It's just kind of like a branch of it. National Socialist Movement, and the KKK. Now, I don't think so, okay? I have seen no evidence that it was anything other than the Golden State Skinheads wearing Traditionalist Workers' Party shirts. Okay, because every person that I've identified in those videos are Golden State Skinheads. It turns out the Traditionalist Workers' Party people, as far as I know, never showed up. Or when they showed up, it was after all the action happened. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think the NSM was there at all. And as far as I know, there was no KKK people there. I could be wrong about that. It goes on, the provocation was confronted by a much larger counter-demonstration, which included contingents organized by BAMN, as well as the anarchist affiliation Antifa. Okay, again, they're more communist anarchists or anarcho-communists than just anarchists. And by the way, if they are anarchists, they're really, really, really big failures because they are demonstrating the fact that we're not ready for a society without government, because as long as people like they exist, we will need to be protected from them. The article continues, armed with knives and other weapons, white supremacists clashed with counter-demonstrators. A total of 10 people were injured, including 3 critically in a violent melee. I think it was more like 11, but I could be wrong. It's not that there were just 10 people injured. There were 10 or 11 people who went to the hospital with stab wounds. That's a little bit more accurate to say. BAMN, a group aligned with the Democratic Party. You're not linking. You're really damning the Democratic Party. If you want to associate BAMN with the Democrat Party,
that's fine with me. They're all fucking losers anyway.
Yeah.
Crazy whack nuts.
I mean, well, we got to say there are some affiliations going on. I mean, like, Keith Ellison, for example, praised Antifa, and he is a high-level Democrat.
Yeah.
Okay? Oh, and speaking of Democrat politicians that are in support of BAMN, I almost forgot to mention, as Tabitha, as you discovered, there's the mayor of Berkeley and other, area politicians. Chris Worthington of the, I should say, the mayor of Berkeley's name is Jesse Aragon, or Arugan, depending on how you pronounce it, who Tabitha discovered that he is was high up on Yvette Falarca's friend list, and the other way around. And also, he had on high up on his friends list other notable members of BAMN, and also the same thing with the California politician Al Rojas, the Berkeley City Council member Chris Worthington, and other politicians in that area. I wonder how much the FBI was looking into them, or do they not do that because he's a Democrat politician? I don't know. Maybe just because they're Hillary's lapdog doesn't necessarily mean that Hillary gives a shit about what she would consider to be some peasant mayor. Especially because he's brown and she doesn't really seem to like people who aren't white, even though she tries to hide that fact. Mm-hmm. I got my hot sauce and that works on you people, right? I got hot sauce in my purse all the time.
I eat hot sauce. Right?
Yeah. Oh, they all look alike, is what she said once. Or we have to bring these dogs to heel or something like that once. My point is this. Also, other Democrat politicians are in support of BAMN. So, there are connections going on there. I mean, there's multiple politicians, apparently, especially in California, who are Democrats who support BAMN. And as you may have as you may have seen in one of my videos, I caught the senior advisor of Jesse Aragon lying in order to cover up the fact that the city police allowed BAMN/Antifa to take over and walk over some barriers with weapons in Martin Luther King Jr. Park. And she claimed that she was watching from the fifth story window where their office is, and that is true. That's where their office is. She claimed to be watching, and she said, no, that didn't happen. And I said, ma'am, while I'm talking to you on the phone, I'm showing my audience something that you said didn't happen, and it clearly happened. Okay? Mm-hmm. My point is this, is that the mayor of Berkeley, the mayor of Berkeley is apparently friends with and has his office people lie to cover up for fucking Antifa and BAMN. Fuck that fucking mayor. He is a traitor. He deserves to be tarred and feathered. I will give you a link to a former video where we demonstrate the following. The BAMN group was formed by the Revolutionary Workers' Party. Hey everyone, it's me from the future, and keeping with our time traveling theme, I want to go back in time and just correct myself here. It's not the Revolutionary Workers' Party, although that does exist and they are Trotskyite. What I meant to say is Revolutionary Workers' League. Okay, now back to the past. Okay, which is a Trotskyite group, meaning that they want international communism, international revolution, international communism, and they were formed by a few different people. One of them is Eileen Sheff, another one is Shanta Driver, and also this man right here, who we've recently learned, his name is Leland Sanders, or, other aliases as well. Okay, so this is the man that attacked Carlos. His name is Leland Sanders. He tries really hard to hide his identity, but we know his name now.
That's why he didn't make it onto my posters, because I couldn't ID him.
Right.
And I can't just put him up there as a face. It's like, no, I have to ID you and then study you to know your position in that particular communist sect. I think he actually is Shanta's true right hand, if not her complete and utter partner in this.
Right.
Because of the way they interact with each other.
Yes. The
way he actually addresses her as if he's a superior at times.
Yes.
So it's like, I don't know if it's really hard. Their physical dynamic with one another. It makes me wonder which of those two is actually in charge here. Mm-hmm. Is it Leland in charge of all of this and Shanta comes after him? Mm-hmm. Or is it Shanta in charge and Leland is just very outspoken? Yeah. Yeah, we know. It's like, either way, I'm thinking that if I make a new poster that those two are going to be side by side because of the way they act.
Yeah.
It makes me think that he is one of the leaders of BAM and a ringleader here.
Right, and it is
to go down with the rest of them, and the fact that he guards the leaders usually guard their public persona. In fact, when Yvette went all fucking crazed and started doing this shit, like beating people up in public, Shanta removed her Facebook page.
Yeah.
And took down a lot of her social media instantly.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like the blink of an eye. It was there one day and gone the next.
Right.
You know? And Leland, as far as I know, never had one that I could find.
Right.
Like, that's how covert he is. So he is even quieter than Shanta.
Yes.
Which is another reason I'm like, is he above Shanta?
Could be. And then also Eileen Sheff is the same thing. You never, when you look into BAMN, you don't get much on Leland and you don't get much on Eileen Sheff. However, folks, as I've demonstrated in a former video, Eileen Sheff is part of NAMBLA.
Yep.
She literally argues for the molestation of children. She wants you to be able to rape infants because she literally calls for no minimum age of consent.
Yeah. When you leave a giant gaping loophole like that,
baby rape. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, in morality when it comes to children.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, morals. Oh my God, that's something to Christian. No. You have to have morals in life. I'm not saying religiously based morals. I'm talking knowing the difference between right and wrong. And when you remove moral base from your actions with a child, then you might rape a baby.
Yes. I mean, look, we have a top level Democrat who's literally saying you should be able to kill a baby that is healthy after it was born if the mother says, well, it hurts my feelings that the baby's alive.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, then that means we should lock you away and not let you breed anymore. And isn't it funny how South Park, they did that episode where they joked about very late term, like Cartman's mother wanted to perform an abortion on him even though he was like, what, 10 years old or something like that.
Yeah, I swear Trey and Kyle are just psychic as fuck. They keep, before it happens, they're like, they're ahead of it.
To get back to the article, the FBI's invocation of the framework of the quote-unquote war on terror to target BAMN for investigation and surveillance is a major attack on democratic rights. While the FBI, you know what, we have a right to reasonable safety, so fuck your rights, okay? When you take away the rights of other people, you sacrifice your own. While the FBI report glosses over and minimizes the violence and provocation by the far right, the FBI employs a... Oh, and I should point out, by the way, folks, I totally object to the violation of the rights of anybody. Yes, even neo-Nazis, okay? We have a Bill of Rights. It's either universal or it just doesn't, or it's invalid. That's it, okay? The other thing is that BAMN and Antifa, since 11 or 10 of them got stabbed that day, they have almost 100% of the time gone after people that they know are not neo-Nazis or even close to it because they're afraid to go after the real thing. And that's not okay. So they endanger regular people. They have attacked regular people. People who just happened, even that day, they attacked people who just were going to the state capitol as tourists. They attacked them. They attacked some guy who was just riding his bike. They attacked a father and son who were there as tourists. They attacked some reporters and so on and so forth. All right, folks. Now, I'm not going to read this entire article, but you can access it if you scroll down and see the links below. But notice that early on in the article, they link to what they say is an FBI document. And then when you go to hit that link, it takes you to this webpage right here, which is by Property of the People. Okay, and where have we seen that before? If you remember, in a former video, we went into the video that we did titled "The FBI Did Not Classify Proud Boys as an Extremist Group." We trace back this rumor that the FBI did classify the Proud Boys as an extremist group, and in order to trace that, you go right back to Property of the People again, because that seems to be where it is all stemming from. Property of the People had posted a document that they claim is from the Clark County Sheriff's Office, and it was their document explaining why they fired Deputy Sheriff Erin Wiley, who is a Proud Boys girl. And in that document, in their attempt to justify why they would fire her, they were saying that the Proud Boys have been classified by the FBI as a extremist group, and then FBI later came out and said, no, we didn't. But in the meantime, this was being passed for this document, which allegedly is from the Clark County Sheriff's Office, was being put out by Property of the People, and then that was shared around by a lot of Antifa groups on Twitter and etc. And then the media picked that up and ran with it as if somehow the least credible source ever is what they ran with. And again, you know, if they bypassed that and went straight to the Clark County Sheriff's Office, then they're basing it on a sheriff's office and not the FBI. So the whole media is guilty of that. But anyway, that's the source. And of course, we don't really know whether or not this is actually from the FBI. If you want, you can do your own research. And if you want, you can go to this website and you can download the PDF from the FBI. The document is heavily redacted. And so if this document is indeed from the FBI, you can see that they labeled BAMN DT, allegedly domestic terrorists, extreme anarchists, and etc. So again, folks, there is more to this article by this socialist website here, and you can read through it if you want. But I think the news here is, number one, apparently the FBI has been spying on them. And also, it's just fucking funny that they're like, because of this thing that happened in the future, we did this thing in the past. Oh, too much LSD as a baby from your hippie parents, or what the fuck's going on here? I don't know. Oh,
get brain fry on some of these kids.
Yeah, God, you people, get a grip. Okay? Get a grip on reality.
All right. Your kids now. Oh my God.
Okay, folks. So leave us a comment in the section below. Go ahead and scroll through this article, read it if you want to, and tell us what you think about this. Until next time, peace from the peaceful. Tough love, equality of opportunity, not of outcome. Liberty for all. Yes, even those who you despise. Liberty for all. You don't like it? Too fucking bad. If you don't, if that hurts your feelings, if it hurts you that some people have freedom that you don't want to have freedom, please leave us a comment below so I can enjoy your pain.
If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.
Yep. On BitChute and YouTube. It's very important to subscribe to us on BitChute because really, sooner or later, YouTube is just going to, you know, they're going to get rid of channels like this sooner or later. Thanks for watching.